Hey, I get it, you've probably spent way too many evenings scrolling through endless massage chair listings, wondering if you'll end up with a pricey piece of furniture that just sits there and collects dust. You want something that actually works for you, not a gimmick that looks good on paper, and you definitely don't want to throw money at a chair that feels like a flimsy recliner after a few weeks. If you're sitting on the fence about the Human Touch Novo XT, this video is for you. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about why a massage chair is even a decision worth making. Most of us are juggling work, family, maybe a commute, and somewhere in the mix we're trying to keep our bodies from feeling like a rusted hinge. The promise of a zero-gravity experience, that feeling of weightlessness that supposedly relieves spinal pressure, sounds amazing, but the real question is, does the Novo XT actually deliver that feeling in a day-to-day setting? And more importantly, does it do enough to replace a few trips to the spa or the occasional physical therapy session? The Novo XT is marketed as a high-performance unit, and its main selling point is the 3D L-track massage system. What that means in plain language is the rollers travel along a longer, more contoured path that follows the natural curve of your spine, from the lower back up to the neck. For anyone who spends long hours at a desk or suffers from chronic lower back tightness, that extra reach can feel like a targeted stretch that you'd normally get from a professional therapist. I've seen a number of users mention that they finally feel relief in the lumbar area after a single 20-minute session, something that typical chairs with a shorter track often miss. Now, intensity matters. The Novo XT offers 5 intensity levels and 3 depth settings. In practice, this gives you enough granularity to go from a gentle wake-up massage in the morning to a deep, muscle-knocking session after a heavy workout. If you're the type who likes to ease into a massage after a long day, you can start at level 2 and gradually climb up as you feel your muscles loosen. On the flip side, the deeper settings can be a bit much for people with very sensitive skin or those who have a history of bruising easily. In my experience, the chair's algorithm doesn't automatically adjust based on your feedback, so you'll need to manually dial it in each time. Heat is another practical element that often gets overlooked in short reviews. The Novo XT uses warm air technology that targets the lumbar region specifically. In real-world use, that gentle heat can help primp the muscles before the rollers engage, reducing that sting feeling you sometimes get with a sudden pressure increase. If you live in a cooler climate or simply enjoy a bit of warmth while you unwind, this could be a small but welcome perk. That said, the heat only covers the lower back. If you often need warmth for your shoulders or neck, you'll have to rely on the roller motion alone. One concern that pops up with many high-end chairs is noise. The Novo XT's motor isn't whisper quiet, but it's also not a blaring industrial tool. In a typical living room setting, the hum becomes background noise you barely notice after the first few minutes. If you plan to use it while watching TV or listening to music, the sound won't be a distraction. However, if you share the space with a partner who's a light sleeper, that low-grade hum could be a factor to keep in mind. Space is another practical point. The chair's footprint is fairly typical for a full-size massage chair, about 83 inches wide and 37 inches deep when fully reclined. It will dominate a corner of a small apartment, so make sure you have a dedicated spot that can accommodate the dimensions without you having to constantly shuffle furniture around. The recline mechanism is smooth, and the chair folds back into a more upright posture fairly easily if you need to get past it. Control simplicity is often where manufacturers either shine or stumble. The Novo XT uses an LCD remote that sits on the armrest, giving you quick access to intensity, depth, heat, and preset programs. The layout is intuitive. Buttons are clearly labeled, and you can toggle through the preset programs without scrolling through endless menus. For people who aren't tech-savvy, this is a relief. You won't need a user manual the size of a phone book to get a decent session started. On the downside, there's no smartphone app integration, which some competitors now offer for voice-controlled operation or automatic scheduling. If you were hoping to sync your chair with a smart home setup, you'll be out of luck here. So, who should actually consider buying the Human Touch Novo XT? First, think about the kind of recovery you need. If you're an active individual, think weekend hikers, gym regulars, or anyone who experiences regular muscle tightness, this chair gives you a customizable, repeatable massage that can reduce the need for frequent spa.